Hi, I'm Nada. I'm going to discuss about the economist Jules Depute. He was an Italian-born French civil engineer and economist. He was born in Fossano, Italy, then under the rule of Napoleon Bonaparte. At the age of 10, he emigrated to France with his family, where he studied in Versailles, winning a physics prize at graduation. He then studied in the École Polytechnique as a civil engineer. He gradually took on more responsibility in various regional posts. He received a Legion d'Honneur in 1843 for his work on the French road system and shortly after moved to Paris. He also studied flood management in 1848 and supervised the construction of the Paris sewer system. He died in Paris. Engineering questions led to his interest in economics, a subject in which he was self taught. His 1844 article was concerned with deciding the optimum toll for a bridge. It was here that he introduced his curve of diminishing marginal utility. As the quantity of a good consumed rises, the marginal utility of the good declines for the user. So, the lower the toll or the lower marginal utility, the more people who would use the bridge or the higher consumption. Conversely, as the quantity rises or the people allowed on the bridge, the willingness of a person to pay for the good, that is, the price, declines. Thus, the concept of diminishing marginal utility should translate itself into a downward sloping demand function. In this way, he identified the demand curve as the marginal utility curve. This was the first time an economist had put forward a theory of demand derived from marginal utility. Although not the first time that the demand curve had been drawn, it was the first time that it had been proved rather than asserted. Dupuy, however, did not include a supply curve in his theory. Dupuy went on to define relative utility as the area under the demand or marginal utility curve above the price and used it as a measure of the welfare effects of different prices, concluding that public welfare is maximized when the price or the is zero. This was later known as Marshall's consumer surplus. Dupuy's reputation as an economist does not rest on his advocacy of laissez-faire economics but on frequent contributions to periodicals. Wanting to evaluate the net economic benefit of public services, Dupuy analyzed capacities for economic development and attempted to construct a framework for utility theory and measuring the prosperity derived with the public works. He also wrote on monopoly and price discrimination. Dupuy also considered the groundwater flow equation, which governs the flow of groundwater. He assumed that the equation could be simplified for analytical solutions by assuming that groundwater is hydrostatic and flows horizontally. This assumption is regularly used today and is known by hydrogeologists as the Dupuy assumption. Thank you.